We are delighted to welcome William, the CEO of Kezy-Bans, and Obed, its associate. Kezy-Bans is the exclusive distributor of HAFA products in Ghana. It's a great honor to have you here. Thank you for coming.
Thank you. I, as a person, William, as you know, has a very broad background, starting from different businesses in my life. I started at the age of around 19, starting my own business, and it has really been a success. I've diversified into different areas in terms of that distribution in many areas in telecom, that distribution. I was one of the biggest in copper pipe. I've done for Danfoss, I've done for many companies all over the world in distribution. The interesting thing is always when we enter, we are always at the top.
Exactly, I can testify it.
Kezy-Bans actually is a family business. We started with the mining and construction equipment. So we started mining and construction equipment. We rent equipment to the construction sector and those in the mining sector. Sometimes it is on the project ourselves to do it like on contract, the mining companies. So we have like dump trucks, we have graders, we have excavators, huge ones and domestic ones. So we do mining support services and also equipment rental services. So basically that's what Kezy-Bans we do mostly. Yeah. That's Kezy-Bans.
But it has a history. Started with Balance View Limited,
Yeah.
which was involved in a sale of refrigeration parts, copper pipes, refrigeration parts.
So that started later on. They own properties. They rent to the banks, the telecom companies and others. So it's more like a property company. Then out of that set up Kezy-Bans in the system for about since 2011. And then Balance View has been a system since 1989. So at least
Wow.
we experienced some a long time. Yeah. When it comes to motivation, I always want to touch something and come out successfully. So my greatest motivation or challenge in a sense is when I touch on some business, I want to make sure that I excel. So I try to find ways that I can excel in that field, and trying to find that way of becoming successful in that field of choice is something that sometimes is a challenge, and I make sure that I live up to that challenge. I say that recent decision that was a bold one was to decide to enter into the lubricants market, because I know it's a big area. Because in Ghana, I mean, you can count of hundreds of, maybe into thousands of even maybe lubricants, different lubricants coming to the market. Some from Asia, some from China, some from Europe. Even in France alone, a lot of lubricant companies coming from France. So I asked myself, how will I be able to meet up with this big challenge in the competitive market in terms of lubricant? So that's a very big challenge that it's a bold decision to make to enter into that market. Yeah.
Normally, if you are working with these big giants, you are not seen. Nobody sees you because you are in the middle of nowhere. But with HAFA, at least you get recognized. Your little input gets recognized. And what we enjoy to see is growth. Growth motivates some of us. If you are with one of these big lubricants companies, you can sell even 100,000 containers and it's nothing for them. But with a smaller business, you can grow together. And that motivates us. If you have needs, you get quick response. You have technical challenges, you get quick response. You place an order, you get it quicker instead of working with it. And above all, the feedback we got so far with the HAFA product is very positive.
Amazing.
Quality is good, especially when it comes to the hydraulics. So who doesn't want to associate himself with something good? That's why we choose HAFA.
And just to add to Obert's comment that I just posted, shoe drums myself in the company to use, and the difference was amazing. And you must know that we also have a lot of equipment ourselves. We have a lot of equipment and media equipment. And I wouldn't buy any product that is not good and put them in my equipment. Some of this equipment is over $500,000. And that's one thing that I've really appreciated. That anytime I call HAFA, the answer comes quickly. It's difficult to work with such a huge company. Sometimes we may lack that kind of attachment. But HAFA, I must say, they're doing well in that area. They can advise quickly, technically. They can fly someone quickly to Ghana to handle something. And the brand is also amazing. When I say the branding, the market branding of the drum, I don't think there's any lubricant company whose branding is like HAFA. It's difficult to imitate. That's one of the biggest problems some of the big giants are facing. Because people take the drum, and because it's easy to imitate the drum, people use the old drum and go and fill whatever kind of oil, then they resell it, paint it and resell it. But if you take HAFA, we can assure the population that to imitate this drum, I'm already how to imitate it, the writings is very, very good. And that's one of the things that I really like about HAFA. Sometimes people ask, wow, this is the brand, the branding is exceptional. And I say, well, it's one of the techniques so that people cannot imitate. I'm somebody who likes to read. I read a lot. Just reading, making some research. So reading is one of my hobbies. Then at my leisure time also, I try to help people, especially helping them to get hope for the future. Young men, old people, middle children. So sometimes I devote one day every month. I go to some areas to assist such ones. Sometimes I go to some villages. When you were in Ghana, so that I went there, spend time with the villagers, teach them about the future lessons that we are hoping maybe God's kingdom will bring it. So those two things helps me a lot. Researching, reading, and taking time to assist people, talking to them, sharing the hope for the future with them. Many people like hope today. That's one thing that makes me happy. That's what I do during my leisure time. It doesn't come just like that. I started by saying that honesty comes from the fact that I've come to know God and I follow the principles set forth in the Bible. So the young men, if they're able to go by those Bible principles and also they live by the quality of being honest, humble, they can reach very far. I think maybe over one.
And they have to work hard.
Hard work. That's also important.
Hard work is important. Dedication is very important. In all our business relationships, these are the key things. Hard work and dedication. Nothing comes just like that. You have to put in the effort and then you reap the results.
It's a very good question. For me, I'm just thinking that maybe future HAFA can set up a small depot or a plant. Then maybe it can even produce in Ghana.
Real Ghanaian.
Yeah, Ghanaian. Let it be a France Ghana. That's very great. And you partnership always did and achieve our goal of setting up a plant